Well, you hear me say all the time on this show that Carly and I both get so excited when new restaurants open up or new places to shop open up around where we live around the Bay Area because we all know it's growing. Well, I'm super excited here in West Chase, where I currently am. We've got a new Sprouts. And if you are unfamiliar with Sprouts or want to learn more about it as people up here in North Tampa can get their taste, we get to welcome in one of our good friends, Abigail. It's been too long. How are
I
you?
know. It has been so long.
And by the way, I just want to shout a little congratulations to you because the last time we saw you in studio, you were pregnant and you're you're celebrating a first birthday today, just to illustrate
Yes.
how long it's been.
I know that is way too long. A precious little first birthday and not being pregnant are great reasons to celebrate.
Well, I have been on cloud nine knowing that a Sprouts is now close to where I live because we've been able to learn about Sprouts. If people are unaware of the brand and what you're able to offer, talk about how goodness really does grow at the locations.
It is something that you just see and sense right away when you come in the store. It's open. And one of the things that really sets it apart from other stores is that you walk in and produce is in the middle of the store. Just the Sprouts Farmers Market offers such a different experience because it really is like a farmers market experience, just indoors. But still, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. And with, it's just home to delicious food, fruits and vegetables, and they're featuring a lot of local and regional produce. You can see it as you go through the store. It's got labels on it, and you can see that it's from maybe right down the street or in our home state. So it's just a lovely experience to go, and you'll notice right away the difference with the produce in the middle, and then kind of the sides of the store are where the aisles are.
Huh. Well, and again, as a registered dietitian, I know you always whip up some tasty examples of things. And we're talking plant-based, which I'm so glad we're doing this in the new year because maybe a lot of people are looking at the way that they've had eaten in the past and maybe want to make some changes. So what are some examples you're giving and how can people incorporate them into their kitchens?
That's a great lead up. I love plant-based because it doesn't have to be this all or nothing thing. You can have a meatless Monday. And basically when we say plant-based, we just mean more of a plant forward experience and kind of pulling out the meat in that. So here we have traditional stir fry, but I used a ton of vegetables. And then I also, instead of using meat, I did it with tofu instead of the meat there. And I used to be so like, just kind of like tofu, but tofu is such an easy thing to cook and it really takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking it with. So I got some great teriyaki sauce or stir fry sauce from Sprouts, and you can just pour it on there and it really has this great flavor and it is packed with produce in there. So we've got broccoli, kale, carrots, cabbage, mushrooms, and you can barely taste that there are even vegetables in there. I sneak it in all the time with my kids.
I think you and I have had some fun talking about that. I admit I'm not the healthiest of eaters at times, but I like to be able to kind of sneak it in there. And I know kids too like to be able to sneak it in there. And the tofu, that's interesting. I don't know if we've done a lot of recipes here on the show with tofu.
I didn't for a long time, and now I really like it. And it's something, if you have kids, that they're easy to chew, but then also, like I said, it just kind of takes on the flavor of whatever you're cooking with. So it can be, you can crumble it up, you can cube it like I did in this recipe, and it really works. And then the next one is one that I'm super excited about. Have you ever heard of Impossible Meat?
I've heard of it, yes. And we've had it a few times on the show, but it's still, I think there's a connotation where people are like, okay, what exactly is impossible? What am I eating? So explain
Right.
and whip it up for us.
Basically, the first three ingredients is going to be soy. It's a soy product, but then it also has coconut oil and sunflower oil. And I literally was also one of those skeptics, and I cooked it with some spices, taco spices, and I was literally gave a bite to my husband, and he was like, "You could fool me with that stuff. I mean, it is legit." So I'm doing a little taco bar spread here with the Impossible Meat as the backdrop. Some blend of corn and flour tortillas, tomatoes. I've got some lettuce, of course, the guacamole, heavy on the guacamole, and then some great kale and tomato salsa, from Sprouts, and some olives. You can just make up a little taco. Everybody can put on what they want, and it's a great way to incorporate more plants, but also, and again, you can fool people with this. I'm not saying that's like my thing, but you really. And you don't need to. When stuff tastes this good, you can really just you can tell them. I love to kind of surprise people with that stuff.
You're a mom. We're allowed to be honest and sneak that in. I even, like I
Absolutely.
say, I need it snuck into sometimes the things that I eat. But I think
I'm with you there.
this does, it just goes hand in hand with the new year when people are starting to look, inside. And again, I know that at the core, that is what Sprouts believes. And that's what they want to promote is this healthy living, world that maybe many people are entering into this new year.
It is so true. And that's why it's so easy to be, to be a part of the Sprouts group. And, it's just interesting because everybody has a different definition of healthy from, if they're keto, they're looking for gluten-free, organic, plant-based, grass-fed, whatever type of, plan that you are following right now, or you just want a place to shop that's great and feels good, has great prices, and makes you feel good when you go in there. Sprouts is definitely the spot. And they offer all those different types of foods for whatever attribute you're looking for. And it's just an easy place to do, to shop at.
Well, we are lucky that they're all over the Bay Area. Again, the new one in West Chase. There's the information. Of course, you can learn more about plant-based diets as well. Abigail, it's great to check in with you. We're so happy to see you and happy to hear you're doing well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.